Hey guys, I've been holding off on doing this one for a while, but it's Mental Health Week, or Mental Health Awareness Week. So I thought it's about time someone touched on it, and it's something that is not often talked about enough. Although we do talk about saying Mental Health Awareness Week and be aware and all that kind of stuff. It's easy to say it, that kind of phrase, but and let's talk, but it's so vague. Um, and I don't think the general public and media and that kind of thing grasp the idea of what let's talk actually means. It's not just talking, hanging out, and avoiding being on your own or getting to know family members more or talking to each other more. It's not just that. Yeah, because it's more so talking about your past, talking about things that go through your mind that you don't let out to anybody else, things that people don't know about you, things that some people do know about you, but you don't want to talk about. Usually to do with past, can be to do with what's happening at the moment in your life. Um, and I wanted to touch on it because also in regards to men, there's a lot of stigma around opening up about your mental health and the struggles that you can go through it with, and there's just a stigma around um, some of the older generation call my generation, or a bit younger, I'd say, the snowflake generation, purely because they show emotion when something has hurt them, usually name calling or a form of bullying. And then you get people that go, oh, well, we didn't used to act like that. We used to just take it on the chin, like, oh, sticks and stones break my bones, calling names never hurt me, all that crap. Just utter bollocks. There's nothing wrong with them as a man or a female or anything opening up and showing emotion towards someone that is disrespecting you or is making you feel sad or is bullying you. There's no reason why you should have to put up with that. There's no reason, whether it's on social media through trolls or in person or around a group. There's no reason that you should not be allowed to show your emotion. And this whole idea of people being a snowflake is just utter shit. It winds me up so much. Like, just because you found it so hard within yourself to show emotion, you'd rather keep it inside and act the hard man or act the big guy and go, oh, it never affected me. We weren't like that. Well, clearly it did, because you're an arsehole. Obviously it affected you, but you won't admit that. But everyone else can clearly see it. That holding everything in and acting the way you did, pretending nothing affected you, as enables you to manifest yourself into becoming an absolute prick towards everyone else, because you got treated like that. So now you have brought on that persona and decided to treat others like that because you don't know how to show emotion. You've gone down and think that other people who show emotion are weaker than you, which is just bollocks. You were scared to open up. A lot of people like that are scared to open up and talk about the way they feel, and say, no, I don't like what you're saying to me, or it makes me feel sad or angry, or you just don't dare admit to a group that you don't like what they're doing. So you become a follower. And then, if anything, you're the weak one, or you just don't know how to open up, so you think others shouldn't. It's a lot harder to open up and talk about your feelings and admit when someone's made you feel sad, admit when you don't like something, or say that you're not doing so well, or you're not coping so well, or that even even when you are in a crowd as well and they're they're bullying someone, you want to join in, or it's just so many examples I can give. But it shows a much stronger person to open up about themselves or attempt to than for someone to hold it in. It's easy to hold it in. It's easy to follow a crowd. It's easy to stick to the norm, but it's a lot harder to admit you don't like something and be your own person and say no, that makes me feel sad, or cry. There's such a stigma around crying, especially with men. Women have no problem crying. Most women, yeah, they might not always open up, but they will cry. But if a man cries, they're seen as not being a man. They're seen as weak, or they think they're weak, which is just shit as well. Bullshit. And I know I'm swearing a lot in this today, but it pisses me off. It's something that really gets me angry, because crying, what kind of as is just a bodily function. It releases a lot of different hormones, and if you think that everything is just so basic and generic that somebody shouldn't cry, in a sense that it has a lot more detrimental effects to your mental health and physical health than opening up, crying, and talking about things. Because mental health is just because mental health is something you can't see, an illness that you can't see, whereas symptoms of coughing, feeling ill, or stuff like injuries where you see the break or a cut, all of those types of things are possible within your brain. There's different mechanisms going on. There's different transmitters. There's different emotions, actions, and everything go through the brain. So there are symptoms of mental health, but because you don't see them, or because you're not opening up your mind to see them, doesn't mean it's not there. So someone who's struggling with mental health, for you it'll be very hard to see. For someone else who's going through it or has gone through it before, will be able to notice it in that person. And they might not always show it, then you might not even realise, but simple things of asking them if they're okay, how they're feeling, just being interested in them, and not just being interested in, for example, what they do at weightlifting or how the family is, all this crap. Yeah, it's nice to ask that, but sometimes people respect you more, and people need that kind of, are you alright, are you okay, how are you feeling, I'm always here to talk, like, I'm here for you if you need it. And actually following up on that and being there for them, offering out, but reaching out to that person means a hell of a lot more to them than just saying it and then not doing it. If you say something to someone, you've got to follow through with it. And with a lot of mental health, people, there's not a lot of help out there for people, and it's a tough subject for me to talk on because I've gone through it very severely. Like when I was going through it, I have attempted before. I did find it hard to open up, did struggle to open up, and it took me a very long time. It lasted from my childhood up until, I'd say, a year ago, until I felt happy. The idea is feeling happy, and there's not a lot of help out there for the individual. The basis on mental health now is they base it on how severe the case is. So basically the gist of it is, from previous experience with myself and my friends, my girlfriend, is when I've spoken to the NHS, which I've been into the hospital and rang up helplines. Like, yes, there's helplines, but there's some helplines that you ring up and you talk to them, but they can't say anything back. They can't give you advice on what to do. So, for example, once I was with a person who was attempting, and then I called up someone to ask for help, see what I could do, what their advice would be, and they said they can't give any advice because they're not qualified, blah 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 blah. And then so the only way for someone to get help is they either admit it themselves, fill out a form online, never in person. Doesn't matter if you go to the doctor, they'll reach out to you and say you need to go online. So you go online and you have to write a 500-word paragraph or essay basically on how you're feeling, why you're feeling like it, what's led you to do this, and what you've done, and blah blah blah. Really delving into it with no one there to talk about it, forcing you into that state to talk about it, to then get the help maybe in a few months' time or a few weeks' time or whatever, which is really dumb. Yet you're not talking about it, you're not opening up there, you're just writing it down, and it doesn't always make you feel better. It's a really shit way of getting help. But once you've done that, they'll contact you. You'll get a 24-hour service, and you can call them anytime. And still isn't great. And then once you do get them appointments, you get 6 appointments, and then after that, that's it. You get 6 free appointments. Then you have to pay for your own illness. So you're struggling through a mental illness, and you have to pay for your treatment, which is insane. We're part of the NHS, which completely confuses me. And yes, the NHS do a great job, but paying for an illness is insane. And then the only other way you can get free, constant care or therapy for having going through mental health is attempting to commit suicide and surviving. So someone has done that, or someone has shown attempts, and the ambulance has been there, you've been to the hospital, blah blah blah. Then you get permanent therapy, offer of depression pills, which I don't agree with, by the way. Every single person I've known to take them gets worse. They become reliant on it. It becomes an addiction because they think it's their only way of feeling better, feeling happy, which is dumb. You're just creating another addiction. You're creating an addiction, and then once they stop that, then they're just going to revert back to that. So yeah, you have to basically commit suicide and survive. And someone I know goes through counselling, a few people I know, due to that, and they have a more premium service and get it for free. But that is like someone being diagnosed with a disease like cancer, which is an awful disease, but it's a physical disease, so it gets treated straight away. But if that's basically like saying it, you get diagnosed with cancer, they won't treat you until you're about to die, and then we'll start treating you now. Well, really, it's kind of too late for that. And in a sense, mental health, the damage is already done with that, and not everyone comes back from it. And recently, there's a few friends that I have lost, and a few friends of my friends that have lost friends. When I was very young, it wasn't to do with depression. I lost my best friend. Didn't help with my mental health. I was really young. I didn't understand so much, but I was at that moment I was deaf as a child, and he was the only person that spoke to me. So that was really hard for me. And as a child, you didn't understand what was going on and why you were feeling like that, why you were feeling down, sad, and was anxious, and then it just spirals out of control for years and years and years. Which I'll talk about my past more so in another video, probably at a later date. So, but I just thought I'd make this to kind of highlight in a sense, bad points of help towards people with mental health. We're so obsessed with promoting good things about mental health and promoting how that you can talk and that it will get better and blah blah blah. But the truth is, it won't get better until you're offered that help. You admit yourself that you need help, which is very hard. But I'm just trying to say that if you think someone's struggling, please talk to them instead of, and I don't mean talk to them about just generic things, just try and shed a bit of light sometimes and ask how they are, ask how they're feeling. Ask how they're feeling compared to another day and what have been up to, and then even sometimes why. And then just let them talk. And if they don't want to talk, that's fine. But just say that you're there for them and that the help, you're always going to be there if they need it. But this idea is just to highlight that there needs to be improvement within mental health and help towards that and treatment for it. 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, so this video is just to touch on stigma around men going through mental health, opening up about things. The stigma around, well, not stigma, the shit going on with people being called a snowflake, people being called weak, people thinking they're weak, all because of talking about how they feel. People kill themselves because of the way they feel. People kill themselves because they can't show emotion. People kill themselves or harm themselves purely because they let other people's opinions and the way other people think about them or the way other people treat them affect the way they live their lives, the way they think, the way they feel about themselves, which is very hard for someone to understand that you shouldn't give a fuck what other people think. You shouldn't give a fuck why other people want to hurt you, because if anything, it shows that they're so unhappy with their lives that they have to induce negativity in your life towards you or towards your family or towards your lifestyle. If they were happy in their life, they would get on with their life and they wouldn't have time to look at others and go, oh, this and that, oh, you're shit, blah, blah, whether it's on social media or in person. So that type of person, I just say, I'm sorry you feel that way. There's so many, I'm sorry you feel that way, and you have to throw negativity at me or as a person or at my lifestyle. Obviously you're unhappy with yours. I hope it gets better. There are helplines that you can call to talk to, and I'd advise talking to the people you love, because there's no reason that you have to just be horrible to someone if you're not feeling sad yourself or angry yourself. Because you wouldn't want someone to feel the way you feel, so don't do it. And also, just to touch on, it also comes to help with surrounding yourself with the right people in that sense as well. Happy people going in the same direction as you, people who want to progress in life, people who want to make something of their lives or want to do similar things to you. Like for me, bodybuilding, I surround myself with people in the gym, people who want to work out, people who want to progress in life, people who are like being happy. And that doesn't mean avoid people who are depressed. That means surround yourself with the right people who have a good mindset to want to improve, to want to get better, to want to open up, to want to be nice, be a nice person. Don't surround yourself with the wrong crowd who's full of negativity. Enhanced positivity is the best way. Surround yourself with people who are positive. So yeah, so there needs to be more help, there needs to be more care, there needs to be free healthcare towards people with mental health. And I'm just one person who's saying it, but someone's got to say it. And there's such a high death rate, suicide rate at the moment with people with mental health, and it's just crazy how we're only just starting to get the ball rolling to help people with that. It is a much bigger flag than any other health condition, because any other health condition induces depression, induces anxiety, and the majority of people have it. whether you think they don't or not. And it's usually the person with the biggest smile on their face, as some of you know. So my advice would be open up, talk, try and get help, surround yourself with the right environment, the right people, do things that make you happy. Doesn't matter what anyone else wants to do, else thinks. Imagine yourself in a room with nobody else and you think, what do I want to do today? What do you want to do? Whether it's a sport you do, whether it's martial art, whether it's art, whether it's singing, whether it's writing songs, reading books, going into nature, hanging out with your family, hanging out with your friends. Whatever you want to do, you do that. And trust me, if you do everything you want to do in every part of your life, also with a job, take the job you want, make sure you enjoy your job. Every aspect of life you enjoy, things will start to get better. This video is a big milestone for me because a long time ago, I wouldn't even speak. I was deaf as a child. After that, I wouldn't even speak. I had 0 friends. They like to call themselves friends, but they weren't. They didn't really care about me. A true friend is someone who cares about you and becomes family, like your blood. But that's not always the thing either. Blood is not thicker than water. That is just an old-fashioned saying. It means shit. The people who actually care will show they care, and you'll know they care. You won't even have to question it. They'll be there for you at any point they need you, or you need them. Sorry. So yeah, this is a big milestone for me. I would have never, even a year ago, opened up to talking to a camera, and then posting it on social media, to help out other people. And I've only done that from purely focusing on myself and trying to make me happy. So yeah, so it does the stigma around people opening up needs to stop. There needs to be more help through the NHS before things get serious. It's just dumb for it to let it get that far. There also needs to be changes in mindset within the general public to stop thinking crying and showing emotion is weak, because it's just not. You show emotion when you fight in a sport. You show emotion when you're in a sport. When you get angry, you show emotion towards your wife or your husband or your kids. You teach them. What you've got to also remember is you have to show it yourself. You have to show it yourself, and it's not weak to show emotion. This would be an extremely long video if I went into great detail, but I just wanted to touch on this week of not just saying it's all happy all the time. I wanted to touch on that it's okay to feel bad, it's okay to feel shit, and that there are people who will talk, and I'm sure you all have someone in your life, and if you don't have anyone in your life to talk to, then I am always free to talk. You can contact me on any form of social media if you want to, and I am a genuine person and I will talk about it, and I will talk to you if you need to. So don't be afraid. And if you are afraid, then it can't hurt you any more than it's hurting you now. And I certainly can't. Or the person you love certainly can't. So yeah, so let's stop pretending it's not there, and don't be afraid, guys. Is what I'm trying to say. Don't be afraid to open up. There's always someone there for you. There's always someone similar to go through it, who's gone through it. There's always help. There just needs to be a bit more help. So yeah. But well, I'm wearing my hair down today. As you may notice, it's actually annoying me. So I'm gonna cut this video in a bit because it's a pretty hot day, and I want to get outside in the sun. But yeah, so as it's Mental Health Awareness Week, I thought I'd touch on this, and I hope all you guys are feeling alright. Hope you have a good week. If you're having a bad day, don't worry, it'll get better, I promise. And just be safe, and there's always someone who's worse off than you. So just enjoy your lives the best you can. We're all going to die, and one day that will happen, and it'd be better if it didn't end early. So always be there for people. Always the end product of this, just be a nice person. Be a nice person and give things out that you'd want to get back as well. Don't be selfish, or be selfish, but don't expect anything from anyone else. If you don't expect anything from anyone else, be a nice person and try focus on your own happiness. Then that's my best advice that I can give. And surround yourself with positivity as well. That's the best advice I can give it. All of those things to help yourself if you're struggling through that, or in any point of life anyway. And then hopefully there'll be more help out there through healthcare as well, or through therapy for people who need it. But yeah, so I'll touch on this in another video, but my next video I'll post after this, or before, depending on when I post them, is the episode 2 of Garage Gains. Got some new equipment, and I got some more equipment coming this week, so I'm still working towards bodybuilding. Competing next year now, because all the competitions are out, so that's kind of small update what I'm doing. But yeah, the next video will be just me and my mate working out, or the video before this. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all having a great day, great night, great evening, blah blah, and you're all amazing. I love you all. So cheers. See you soon. Oh, guys, please like and subscribe. Cheers.